gamers, the Super NES was the first really great game system we owned. Yes, the NES and the Sega were great, but the Super NES gave us so many timeless titles that we still play today. When the system launched, we remember playing games that blew our minds. The graphics of Super Mario World, the music of Final Fantasy II, and the fun gameplay of Pilot Wings were all available at launch and were all awesome. Meanwhile, we're still looking for a game to give us a reason to buy a PS4 or Xbox One. Super NES also had the best cooperative games of all time. We've noticed a lot of top 10 lists, but we think that there's really 5 outstanding hits that we can still play today. Here's our list of the best Super NES co-op games. Number 5, NBA Jams. Okay, we're not huge on sports games, but NBA Jams is only superficially a basketball game. In today's world, in which realism is the focus of games, we forget that there was a period where games like Arch Rivals let players enjoy a cartoonish version of sports games. NBA Jams was a truly goofy game which indulged in impossible dunks and random cameos. The color commentary was funny, if repetitive, and the over-the-top nature of the gameplay made each match hilarious. Even for those who don't like sports so much, the energy of this game was impossible to ignore. Number 4, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. After the great arcade game, it took a long time for a good Ninja Turtles game to show up on home consoles. Nintendo's earliest effort is notoriously terrible. The eventual arcade import on the NES wasn't much fun either, as the contrasting graphics between the NES and the arcade was striking. Turtles in Time delivered a graphically beautiful adventure and a large variety of levels. It really captured the feel of old cartoons and is definitely the best side-scrolling beat-em-up on the Super NES. Number 3, Contra III. The original Contra was a great game on the NES. The side-scrolling shooter merrily ripped off numerous 80s action movies like Predator and Aliens, and delivered one of the most difficult games on any system ever. Contra III built on this with wild, over-the-top levels, wide variety of weapons, and crazy boss fights. It's still pretty difficult, especially on its hardest settings, and it's a beautiful game and a blast to play. Number 2, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. We have such a soft spot for Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You and a buddy face off against a variety of horror movie monsters like zombies, werewolves, aliens, vampires, chainsaw-wielding maniacs, and enormous babies. The music is great, the graphics and gameplay are sharp, and the variety of monsters you battle is really surprising. Yes, the game would be better if you could explore levels separately. In their defense, it took LEGO 5 games to add that feature. And the game gets super difficult in later stages. We still hope to see these games come back someday, but until then, it's one of our favorite cooperative experiences out there. And our number 1, The Lost Vikings. The Lost Vikings is one of our favorite examples of what a great cooperative game can be. In the game, you and a buddy control 3 Vikings with 3 different abilities. Eric can run, Balog can fight, and Olaf can use his shield to defend and glide. The Vikings use these abilities in various combinations to solve a variety of puzzles over a diverse series of levels. The game is possible single player, but is much easier and more fun with a partner in split screen. Are you listening, The Cave? Puzzles were well designed, the Vikings were funny, particularly when they punched through the 4th wall to complain about your gaming skills, and the game still holds up today. The sequel is pretty great too. If you haven't tried it, find a copy and give it a shot.